around. I'm expecting a close series. I'm expecting all three. We can see here on this pistol round, the attack side of KC is under a bit of threat. They tried to take control on B. Maybe the idea to go back later on. And
with 30 seconds left,
30 seconds
well, it's going to take them a little bit of time to even break through this if they wanted to. We've seen him be ever so deadly in these positions before, but for now, they are going to clear that spot. They know where he is, and the rotation's coming in for the rest of the team.
That wall's going to go down at some point. There it is. There's a player behind him. It should be an easy kill. CNET's turn, though, and he's caught Magnum. Narrate's caught in the open, attempting to make that pinch happen, and now the spike is down. It's another disaster for the attack. They tried to make something work. They thought.
This congestion could be interesting. CNET, well positioned. A chance to do some real damage, but, you know, he's got support.
Yeah, the backup is there, and mighty backup it is. Even a snake bite to close out the round.
And now it has to be a retake with weaker weapons.
Some advantages maybe if they can force those close-range fights. But it looks like they're out in the open. Mr. Fallen's good for the first, but their numbers are quickly thinning out. Mr. Fallen shot in the back with no chance, and CNET shot. And we've already got the paranoia down, but flashes from Magnum still exist. Dizzy up top, there's a deep flash from Magnum, keeping these players trapped in, allowing individual fights to be taken. KC are winning again and again. Yedege and Mr. Fallen, the last ones to try and fight their way back through. You can see Yedege still on the other side of the map. That was a quick take from KC. You can see why they didn't take the op there. They need their guns for charging down that site, and it's worked out very well. An almost unlosable post plant. Mr. Fallen does well to find the first. The snake bite a little deep. Oh no, it's not a little deep. In fact, Martin was hit by it, so he's easier taken down. But a 1v2. That Shin eventually closes out. Okay, KC. They're waiting for this push to come through. A wise play by the side of KC, and the reward is there. Paranoia, though, that's going to make it awkward. Tamazi's so low, and there was nowhere to go. Pushed from every side. That's making great use of a low buy from the side of FUT. They've claimed a weapon, and CNET's claimed a kill. That plant might be undeniable, but if CNET can survive, oh, they'd have the numbers. Still, Thrash ready to go for Mr. Fallen, and he's legging it.
And the rate.
He's on his way around to long, presumably to use that to break his way through. The time is still good to make this work.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can see Narrate has fallen back to a position where he can use his as well. Both teams are basically having the potential idea and already stopping it from getting any real value. Now becomes the opposing side, as we are going to see the TP. Nice idea from out of Captain, but not quite dealt with quick enough. The defuse is already happening. Halfway through, the spam is going to at least drop it, but for now, Mr. Fallen needs this kill, and he needs it immediately. Does manage to get it. I don't know if there's going to be enough time. I think he's just about got it over the line. Mr. Fallen
chopping up the site in a very different way.
Spike planted.
But FUT have positions all across the map. They're scattered, and the surprise factor could catch them a couple of kills. Although they've lost Mr. Fallen, lost their way back through, out of Captain, isolated and dealt with, and now it's impossible. As soon as Yedege falls, we realize Cracks 1v4 surrounded.
at least for an extra rotation to come in.
Kill on Yedege, the numbers thinning. Good fights for FUT, as they now have to concede the site, though. With the TP coming through, this player's in spawn. They try to just hold the push, hold the angle, so KC don't get any extra space. They end up losing their life to it. Crack still with 2 flashes. Could try to play into the pit, but they're separated. It's one thing fighting through a pit, fighting through it from 2 different angles. It's only going to be even more difficult. You can see Cracks will try to get an angle, but his teammate's already fallen to a shorty, and now his HP ever lower. It was only a matter of time as the decay.
But even still, 6-3, looking good so far for KC. Cracks has been quiet, but he got off to a good start in this round. Again, though, Tamazi, someone to highlight in every single match. His Cypher in their last game was sublime, and his Viper still looks to be on point. Shin trying to reaggress. The pot flash is good, but even still, Cracks finally has awoken. A third already in the round for him, a pot flash. He's looking for more, 8 HP, and he's still pushing forward. Has the support of CNET and well, Narrate. The reason that FUT lost that long-fought battle on Lotus was because this man had 40 kills. So I don't think FUT are going to take him lightly.
Well, we've got a lot of respect for CNET. He's earned it. I think Narrate has too. Tier 2 duelist to top of the world almost in stats. This guy's unbelievable. But this 1v4, well, he's got time on the clock, but just look at the positions of FUT. As soon as contact is taken, all eyes will be on Narrate. I hope he's got a high sense catch this 364K. Here comes the rest of FUT. The rotations have come in. Now there's 4 players. They're 8. Oh, he had some support, but the wall completely blocked off Martine. So everybody's just staring at that angle. Nice and easy. The TP used, but not successfully. They've blocked him out from claiming the spike. And with 40 seconds left, they have a long run to go on. You still got Martine close, but I mean, he's got 4 players to fight, a spike to retrieve, and a site to plant it on after. They might already cancel out the ult. Will cancel it out, but luckily they've gone the right way. So the rocket's online, and it's caught out of Captain.
That's a good start. That will not only potentially get him an upgrade in terms of weaponry, but it's also taken so much space. The shot off gives up where Tom is he standing. Mr. Farland still holding strong, but will fall. Cleared out by KC. And while now you have seen that null command put into play, but there's not a lot left, really, that KC could have utilized.
Just look at these angles, man. Martine's got a stinger, but what we don't see is what's in his hand. A shorty holding the close angle means his teammates inside Lambs don't have too much to worry about despite their low HP. Good shot as Yadajay falls, and denial of the defuse with a gap in the wall used to push around, and then the flank comes in eventually very clean. That's KC. Want to get aggressive towards Lambs, fighting on the corner. 2 players ready and stacked up. Good shots connected by Martine, and then Narrate swings. Sees nobody. They've already claimed the space, denied the push, and left foot sat back. Key thing here, Yadajay, his wall is down. You know that means they're not looking to cross up and take that space anymore. But for KC, it doesn't mean that they have to rotate and play this crazy. They've actually made a very good call, I think in a pistol round especially, to just have the fallback on B, give the side up completely, and leave Tamazi watching it. A retake on one side of the map, and a full stack on the other. This is going to be a tough one for FUT to find any opportunities. Even with the way Tamazi's peeking this, you sneak up B, you maybe get a plant, 5v3 retake, you sneak up B, you push all the way through, he'll either get you or spot you and run away, and that's all they need is the info.
Instead, it doesn't look like his impact in this round will have much at all. They are building into what is the completely stacked up site. 4 players waiting, contact held for Martine, and somehow Crack's actually done all right there. That looked like a moment where they might get slaughtered, but they brought it back into a potential scenario, although there's a lot of utility still available. The defenders putting into position so many spots now that the spike can't be planted in. Only 14 seconds left. The spams might not kill him off. He'll be able to survive at least a second longer, but it is left all onto Cracks. He doesn't even realize where they're coming from. Tamazi there to close out the round. Those retakes. Double flash straight through. CNET just like, you know what, I'm having none of it. And actually Cracks has hit one with that Sheriff. Oh, maybe we spoke a little bit too soon. He's really looking to try and take this one into his own hands, but Shin has been able to trade him out. No weaponry to be retrieved, but also a lot of the angles still made awkward, still made possible for CNET to try and hold them back. And a captain up close with a classic, always devastating. Mr. Farland's found another. This is starting to really fall apart. And the main issue now, Mitch, is that time, is that clock, as it all looks to fall apart again.
On the way through hookah. Tamazi, the only one in danger, but he's got an easy enough bailout. Oh, never mind. I said they didn't want to fight. Tamazi just goes swinging on that angle, finds one, repositions 2, but Cracks is ready for it. Ever vigilant, TP through. Oh, big fight on its way. I thought maybe they'd wait a second for this, but instead they go diving with the showstopper, claim the spike, and leave Mr. Fallen all alone. And with another TP, he's got an idea where everyone is. Now he's got that info locked in, but dealing with this is going to be a bit complicated. Even the flashes, he thinks they're going to push him. You know, he's burning up some of his utility that he very much needs if he's going to have any chance of reclaiming that spike.
And only now that they have the full force of their squad are they going to try and get into position. The nade dropped, but Anna Captain's done well. Even still, though, trade is immediate.
That trade's keeping the favor for KC, and they know CNET could be around this angle. Dealing with him is a little bit different, but he's got his ice wall out at least. It will be put into play, and they'll have to break it, buying a little bit of extra time. Mr. Fallen, though, dividing his attention, and Tamazi takes advantage of it. Damage, not a kill. Still 2 players alive. And with the spike being tapped as we speak, the spray's going to come through. A kill would give Thrash, at least if the kill was for Mr. Fallen. And he might not need it. Never mind! What? 6 HP left on Magnum.
But FUT aren't sitting back. They're going to try and fight in towards Showers instead. An early fight wins them the duel, and Yadajay, another rookie to the league. As I've said many times, it does not feel like it.
It really doesn't. Yeah, you don't see too many rookies doing that, although it's funny to say it in this matchup, but they're right on the other side.
True, true.
Exact same.
And my team, there.
And that's it. FUT have been taking lamps a lot. That's what this wall is for. Cracks, unfortunately, a little bit of a recon beam going up in the sky as they eventually take control. They meet Shin, and the spams through the smoke. Well, they've caught Cracks again. That's 2 in a row. He won't be res this time, as he's dropped for good. Fight back from Mr. Fallen gets 1. Thrash is online, no safe space to use it, but they're out. At least 1 is 2 safe, and the other still out on Bath. Looks like FUT will be comfortably enough able to get this plant through. Thrash online, res. Yeah.
Planted.
I mean, good luck to you if you manage that res. Maybe you could sneak up late, go through the TP, but that's just not how you want to play this round.
I was wondering if CNED would hang around a little bit, wait for that rotation. Thrash is basically just being used as a deterrent, allowing him to get back into position, and then it's going to be held for the late round. I don't mind the idea, the push! It is bold from Ada Captain, trying to get into a position to catch them off guard, but they are moving as a unit, as always with the KC boys. Building up around that A site. They were back towards mid, they were holding, so they gambled on the KC side, and FUT, they basically gambled that they would do that. A smart way to play with those rotations. At a captain, this fight could be everything. It's definitely a little bit more awkward. He dodges the flash, and the shots eventually connect. I feel like Magnum probably could have had him once or twice there. Now though, FUT just starting to dominate, leaving Shin alone.
With paranoia, but not with his ability. Now, though, they've realized where he is as he steps into the fight. Narrate, well, he was looking at heaven. He should have been looking at the walkout. 3 kills coming back from KC. It's winnable yet again. They're not letting go of these rounds, but they might be forced to let go of the plant at least. Playing for the post, Shin walled off. No real chance to cause any sneaky plays, and so they'll group up instead. Viper's Pit for Tamazi. Online and enabled. Recon Dart used. Shin just goes ulting in to spot both players, but I think he only saw 1. Might not have gotten to turn around in time. The Viper's Pit up. This is going to make it difficult, but CNED around the side. He could look for a spam. The spike's being tapped. He wants to move in to see him. And it all comes down to timing, which is near perfect for CNED. Now they wait out the decay. No, they don't. I saw he had an op earlier, but he's given it over to Narrate instead, playing a closer angle, and that's why. Okay. 2 quick kills, and the 3rd from Shin. KC, they definitely got their hands on the reins now.
Yeah, he's been lights out in this match. So many important openers when it comes to this defensive side especially. 2 versus 4 scenario. As they look to try and make their way continuing into this site. Shin still having his paranoia from earlier, just going to slow them down even further. The push coming up behind them as well eventually, so it feels like FUT really need to find themselves the kills here, and if they use the TP, their opponents will be waiting.
30 seconds
no, this is
left.
going to be commitment. Wall saved, perhaps for the spawn, but they have to fight for it first. Shin's in their way. Some time, but another Thrash to go through. This time, Mr. Fallen falls, and then the shot connected by Narrate. Pulls the Thrash out as the defenders now throw theirs in to try to slow down this attacking side. Ada Captain has, I don't know if he's quite snuck his way in. They're definitely expecting it. In fact, I see Narrate holding it, but now there's no chance. TP was used to claim Spike after the wall down. I mean, okay.
CNED went to get it, took damage from it, and then they used the TP. It's just, CNED has taken a ridiculous amount of damage from basically no reason at all. That's very badly communicated by the side of FUT. Now they're going to have an even bigger deficit, and as we've said, when it comes to these retakes, this is where the death ball of KC comes alive.
No, it's just been ruthless every time. CNED's now backing up inside of Hookah, be able to provide some support, but actually not the death ball. Split into 2 two-man squads this time for KC, and that could be a mistake. Tamazi able to double up though, and that round is already sealed. CNED solo, tucked in the corner. KC deal with him and find the defuse with plenty of time to spare. 13-11. There's just a small tap from a Ghost through the smoke. The retake attempt from KC, somewhere they've been fantastic, is actually being disrupted. Yenijay's in the corner, unspotted and able to find so much value. Reloading even, and he had a chance with another half second to pop off a few more shots in the rain. Shut him down in time, but he'd already done so much damage now. FUT have the advantage to play with the numbers there, and you can see it in the gunfights.
Yenijay has got to a ridiculous point. Eventually, Magnum is the one to close him out. It is just sheer aggression. W Gaming, maybe they learned something from Paperex, even though Paperex lost.
pretty dramatically.
And now, well, building into what could be a late rotation back. As I said, Mr. Fallen still doesn't have a gun, so if he goes round towards A main, there would still be Cned's gun to find, but he is currently alone. Cracks, though, is going to be able to win a fight. This is still a round that FUT might be able to turn.
Beautiful as well. A glimpse inside Krax's mind. He takes the first fight and just swings back out for more. Never letting it go. That rifle's not retrieved by Mr. Fallen. Instead, he's done just that.
30 seconds
Fallen
left.
outside of A and giving KC the idea that that's where the play is coming down. So they're going to be on their toes with one player already on the site. And Tamazi alongside Narrate back in the spawn, covering off these angles. As time goes on, 15 seconds left. FUT will eventually have to commit to getting this plant in. Utility is limited,
10
no
seconds
orb
left.
to play with it. I can see it's on site, obviously, but now I even walled off, so Ada Captain ain't getting that back.
Spike
Most importantly,
planted.
it's not going to be on the spike, so no post-plant utility, no snake bite to deny. Instead, it has to be the fights for Ada Captain, and he's good at those. The first one, the snake bite, perfect in the swing, but Shin wins it. Clean on the headshot, and he needed that. Only a few bullets. One, in fact, on 42, while vulnerable, would have taken him down. Cracks below. Timing is everything, and oh, he's lost it. They know where he is. They put him in a box. On the site, Magnum might be giving away that he's on his own. But Tamazi's now, well, actually dropped. It's split from both sides. Had no chance. They're going to play the retake on the defensive side, and they're going to have to deal with that wall as well.
Yeah, very reactive attack side right now from FUT. Playing aggressively A if they're challenged too much, falling straight back into a C-side take. Relying on the openers as well. Yedige again. This guy just pulls off ridiculous kills, taking over the round on his own once more. A third already. Crossfire set, but he doesn't need any help. And finally, Shim will put him down in the back. You almost wonder where his teammates were there. Like, guys, I've killed everyone. Could you watch my flank, please? But they will now look to close it. Shin. This time we're not switching up him, but it will still be.
Are they actually taking A? Heard an updraft, that means nothing, but Rez comes through, Spike comes in, and now Viper's pit for Ada Captain. Big pit to play inside of. I don't know how Cned's got a kill there. That must have been a spray through the pit to find it. Gorgeous play either way, intended or not. And now, to fight back through this, they are in a lot of trouble. I mean, that flank is barely going to matter because those players could come out the back of the Viper's pit, and instead, actually got Mr. Fallen spotting Tamazi, slowing down the retake, splitting these players up and making it even easier to deal with them. The decay running it down. Well, Shin, I don't know if he got the comms on where Mr. Fallen was, but oh, that was a little awkward.
Yeah, it has worked out wonderfully for FUT once again. Yedige, that's it.
He was leading those early duels last time, but not this time around. The turrets helped out. Even caught Ada Captain. Cracks will heal just about, and well, you can thank his lucky stars that that turret wasn't online still. They would have dropped him. Up top for the retake, not ideal. In fact, you're going to see Shin swap it out on the way. Instead, the Vandal now in hand to rotate in, but Tamazi's here early. I think earlier than they'll realistically expect. Getting something done will be very difficult in the camp. Now it's spotted them. Now they've got that information to play with. I don't know where Cracks is going. He's going to be late to the party, but they've got the util to potentially delay them. They've got Tamazi, though, picking up Yedige. Now Mr. Fallen's alone, and this could start to get very scary unless Cracks quickens the pace. Mr. Fallen has to hold strong on the site. It's only a matter of time. There's the peak, but Tamazi falls, and the flank comes through eventually. Difference. And I think it does fall back to exactly what Uli was saying to me. This team loves to fight, and this map is built for it. But this is a level that goes beyond my comprehension because KC are good at fighting. Now they have a chance, though. Showstopper already in, and Martin up close.
Go. Cracks already found a trade. And a captain there as well. These post plants have been sublime, but this time they managed to get into position. There is still a snake bite available. They need to do something to get in here, and actually they might just be able to stick this one. If they can get in onto the defuse once that snake bite is gone, and a captain has to go through this, and round is over. There's nothing he can do here.
FUT back, they might want to utilize this position, but Mr. Fallen dies trying to claim it. Still 3 players from KC here, and the Nightmare, the Nightfall comes in, catching them all. 2 at least, and the first already fallen out of Captain. Out of here, 12 seconds left. Reposition from Magnum is perfect. Sublime play from the side of KC, letting nothing slip. And that's one way to close a round for Shin. Player there. Shin staying close though in this case. Drops, it's all on the line. Both players jumping, but Yedajay's a little quicker to find that. And now they can look towards this A site, seeing it's wide open, but seeing even more so that the rotates are coming through. The site's being given up on C. The wall from Magnum gives him an angle. He's using it against them. The battle for CNED though. He completely distracts them as they look for the fight on the players entering site. CNED's there behind, giving them a fright and leaving Narrate all alone. 3 kills for the 10% of the players out there. That's not
Narrate
a good one.
though. And actually, I think that was
to be
more.
fair, there were 4 people.
That was Magnum hits the dig. I was about to say a frenzy from there already is looking much better. Just an absolute blitz in towards this A site in the pistol round for the side of KC.
10-4. 10-4 it is.
For God's sake.
I mean, Sue had her fun fact up earlier, and it is 3 out of 3 so far. When FUT lose the pistol, 100% of the time, they win the follow-up.
The stat has to end sometime.
It does. It does.
And the pistol round isn't over yet, you know? Still got
You're
the
right.
Sage Wall.
Enemy remaining.
How about now?
The Rain looking like he might just close this one out. There you go, now it's over. The fall as well, as they look to enter into the site. They had themselves that Nightfall, but already Yedajay is going to put 1 in the dirt, a second as well, even the low HP and blinded up. Yedajay is still putting up numbers. Leaving the remaining 3 just to potentially try and fall back with the door opening. You're going to see still a player around that B site, Mr. Fallen waiting if they try and double back in that direction. And even CNED on C.
Covering all their bases in case it's a fake, and with so little noise being made, eventually someone's going to peek out for a little bit of information. Looks like that will come through on the defensive side, and for the defensive side, timing almost.
As we've said before, KC with a man advantage are normally pretty good. They've cleared out Yedajay already. As said, he's been a danger man and also got the information onto CNED. This after plant should be in, and well, for the side of FUT, it's now a question of how much do you believe in a 3v5 retake?
It's just one of those missed calls. There's no way for FUT to know what was about to happen, but they decide to gamble on the other side, pull CNED offside. He can't destroy the Prowler. He can't draw their eye on the way through, and he can't support his teammate as he goes down. Those numbers for KC looking strong. Credits riding a little low for FUT. If they get an opening pick, they could go for it, and there it is, Martine. The first to be dropped. HP low on a lot of these players. They're still committing to this. I mean, that time Tom seems to be ticking away a little bit too quickly, and now Mr. Fallen wants to get out of there. He's Mr. Fallen back.
A little bit more aggressive post plant. It's put CNED in an awkward spot, but he hasn't taken any damage. And a captain, however, has. He will be that player coming in from behind as well. The turret attempting to be surpassed. Hasn't gone fantastic either. Mr. Fallen's position is definitely known, and there's a stack up of players on the other side. Utility denying Yedajay from really doing anything on the plant, and the post plant from KC is nigh on perfect. FUT don't even get remotely close to defusing that spike. And I do think they might have to change up the way they're playing this defensive side, because just allowing one site open every time, I don't think you can give that to KC.
Yeah, I mean, they barely got within arm's reach of the spike in the end, so I doubt they're going to be sat there thinking, yeah, you know what, our retakes might be the way to play this. And for KC, they always have that little bit extra to play with.
What?
Mainly thanks to that guy. I don't know how Narrate is able to find value in a lot of these positions, but he does. Great utility usage the round before. BS spams this time. Either one works.
The replay showed that he must have just seen the smallest of pixels of his opponent about to come around the corner.
I couldn't see it when it was paused, so fair play to him. Eyes like a hawk.
There we go, though. No purchase this time, only CNED. Only. He always seems to be a menace. Nightfall plays through, but it hasn't really connected onto anybody. They are still going to continue their push. Krax was the one man on the site. He has been forced back. And it looks like they might just opt to try and set up around CNED's singular rifle. He's still going strong. A second kill already in this round is starting to fall apart a little bit for KC.
Oh, there's definitely some struggles. The low buys of FUT being so deadly throughout their last series and this one. Rifle recovered for CNET. Blade Storm in his back pocket.
I'll find you.
Almost expect him to give that to Cracks. They have 3 rifles now as they set their sights on the site itself. KC very much fragmented. There's an initial duel on Narrate, unable to trade. The slow, it kept them in position. And now all hope lies with Martine. Showstopper in, and it's caught a kill. The ace with the nade, the shorty, in fact, to find it. Site being watched, and he's turned at the wrong moment. That timing is abysmal. Surely Magnum, though, the second surprise element as they rotate back to the A site, he can get a beautiful flank. Everything comes down to timing for him with the player coming behind. And it's only a matter of time till he turns, but never mind. Yedajay wins the fight anyways and will spam through on the narrate. It's Shin left alone. 1 man against 5 from FUT. A near impossible clutch, and well, he can take the bragging rights back from Martine if he wins this one. The spike down in the open. Next to no information and 30 seconds left. It looks like this one is already in the bag with an 11-8 scoreline. We could even ask the question of how much damage can he do, but the answer to that is 0.
They're going to be even more fearsome up close, but Cracks isn't shying away from a fight. It's an awkward one, but he still manages to win it. Ada Captain's found Tamazi as well, and somehow, from what looked like it could be dangerous, but they're not going to mind too much, especially with Ada Captain doing that. And they thought they had a way into the site. The man just disrespected him. He was CNET's defender. CNET would have died if he went down as well. A ludicrous display from Ada Captain. And maybe the end of the map.
It doesn't even stop them from going backside because you have someone like Shin who's shrouded stepping past the snakebite. He can get there early. So for him to just run out like that is ludicrous. But it works. Of course it does. This is FUT we're talking about. 5 versus 3, 5 HP on Martine. He's out, and it looks like just Tamazi, the last man standing and the last to fall in this game. At least on this map, Breeze is up next if FUT secure a 13-8. And my, what a map that will be. 20 seconds left and an op staring down at him. It's a round and map win for FUT. And he's cut them by surprise, but Martine somehow wins that fight. Ever vigilant with a reflank up through tube. Advantage sits towards the defenders. And KC have been pretty good at getting back into sites. Limited utility as they make their way back through. It's a pistol round after all. And maybe FUT can just run down that clock. As KC tapped the spike, someone needs to swing to check it's not being stuck, and it comes at the cost of their life each time, halfway already, and now they all look to duel on the side of KC, knowing that Ada Captain's the last alive. The snakebite will soon fade.
Been hit. You mentioned that Outlaw. He's on 10 HP.
Oh yeah, I mean, anything's going to take him down now. We need to see the fights come through, though. CNET onto Tamazi. It's a clean trade, but KC are closing the distance. That's all they want. That's an ambitious peak. The idea being that Magnum could trade. He got one, no follow-up on it. And the shots landing make it ever more difficult for KC to find any value with Shin on 1 HP. It's a quick
pressure is in on that B-side once again.
Still a trap on site for Tamazi, but how's he getting out of this one? Hunted down by Mr. Fallen. But the kills have come in across the board. Yedajay and CNET have been lost. Big players for the side of FUT. Now another hero has to step up, and they better step up quickly. The spike's being dropped in the open, and now it's fully secured by KC. 4 versus 1. Mr. Fallen would be one hell of a clutch with the Outlaw. Be one for the books if this time. It's Ada Captain that might have the chance to, oh no, never mind, the dash in from CNET. He's going in with an op in hand on the close range angles. The Blade Storm from Martine's grabbing something, but Narrate down to the op as CNET doubles up and gets a little ambitious.
One enemy
Ada
remaining.
Captain in the corner. CNET will close it as well, and
Seconds left.
it just has to be a fight here.
Even if you get the first, there's backup, not just in Martine. Even if you get him, there's backup, because Shin's here too. Spam gets Magnum, drone eventually goes out. 2 players coming to reinforce this push, but no Viper wall. They've got to take the fights in the open. 14 seconds left. Time really starting to run down, and not much of a reveal here. Martine, 8 seconds. He just needs to deny this, and he'll go for it. A kill quickly found. A shot from CNET might keep them back for a moment. Put some hesitation into play for these defenders until he's dropped.
Of his own Magnum also going pushing, and it's a snap from Yedajay. Just that little bit quicker on the reactions.
That gets them a lot of info too. 3 players towards this spawn. They know they can isolate Tamazi. Pressure him back, spam him up. He's 30 HP as he rounds the corner to safety. Won't be too impactful in the late fights by the looks of it, and there'll be no utility for a little while as the spike eventually gets planted. And for KC on the way back through, Martine's going to hope to find an angle with the operator. I think probably the point of contact for this defensive side will be him. Scoped in, looking for something. Yedege still lurking. They're wise to it, they're clearing it, but not good enough. Yedege has been unbelievable, and off that alone, they will fall back out and look for individual fights. Looks like Ada Captain found his.
Oh, you see the frustration in the cam as well from Martine. You just got to be fuming. It just gets insta-popped.
Caged.
Ada Captain has gone down early in a lot of these rounds. Instead now, again, the pressure comes on to the young man from Portugal trying to hold the backside, and it's close, but no cigar. In fact, they're all dropping like flies. Narrate tries to get back in and help, but he's a little bit late. CNET may go down to a shot, don't know. It's instead going to bounce onto Krax, who's taking a lot of damage. And actually, with Magnum finding another, if this kill goes the other way, this is starting to fall apart.
37 and 11 HP, Tom. Two players extremely low, and both are the ones on site, isolated by this Viper wall. Magnum, he snuck around up close, but the shot is found too quickly in the flank from Yedege. Every single time, and now revealed, and oh my. I mean,
everything.
A Hunter's Fury and a nade, a dash in from CNET. There was nowhere to go.
No, he even gets pinged by the dart as well, so they knew exactly where he was. No surviving that one.
Welcome to my world.
They're even going to throw in the Viper's Pit up close. I don't even know if he'll be needed. Cena just kills everybody. Martine trying to fight back, but he will find only the two. And they're not mid, I'm telling you. And well, I'm sure Narrate probably agrees. Hunter's Fury is going to help out massively. They're trying to use these ults to pad the gap, but CNET has now popped one of his own. He realized what's going on a little bit earlier than anyone else.
Oh, that flash is perfect, Martine. He had no chance with the pop from Krax. Krax's utility is just out of this world. You see why we talk about this guy on a KO. He might have lost his life here, but the trades make it worthwhile. Leaving only Tomazzi, and they take him one by one.
I don't know where he's going to get to use them. And instead, Ada Captain now splitting him from the backline is going to make things just that little bit worse. Even still, though, KC are clinging to life. The fight back not going to happen as Yedege comes through, and now Shin left in a clutch.
At least we'll catch all his kills this time. 1 versus 2.
You get off that third-person cam now.
Mr. Fallen and CNET sitting around with the information to work with. He's still around here as the recon gets destroyed. The wall cutting it up. Only beckons them forward, double peek right behind them. Will they see them? No, there's an orb up, it's dropped, and there you go. All out in the open for CNET. Easy pickings with 3 quick kills. This round seems to be done and dusted.
I swear to God, no one else's Ghost works like that. Like, normally you'd see someone spam 15 bullets at the back of their head. CNET, though, it just doesn't, it doesn't miss at all!
Spotted with the knife. Huge information, but capitalizing on it is something else entirely, evidently. Would have been shut down. This was a bonus round with some serious bite to it.
Yeah.
But, well, they've come out of that one empty-handed.
No, you could even see the FUT were willing to sort of push the boundaries, get aggressive. They do still have to be careful, though. They've kept this one nice and clean. A good way to build up the finances, but Yedege is someone that you don't really want to give anything over to. The fact is, other than the rate, they're all sat back, waiting within A main. Yedege just slowly encroaching. Doesn't have any utility to close the gap, and well, you can see that Narrate, the reason he's fighting,
needed to, coming out of Yedege, but the traps are still online. Yedege's on the other side of the map, so as they walk through, they still haven't realized, still haven't walked right into them. And when they do, that's the chance for Ada Captain to show up. That's Shin down on the back of some information. All thanks to Yedege.
Spike planted.
Yeah, he's managed to give them that man advantage. Almost extends it a little bit further. Spams. Looking to come through the wall, Narrate trying to play a cheeky angle, and it has worked out. Even still, though, Ada Captain there again for the trade. The flash solid, but Magnum not quite able to capitalize, and Ada Captain. We've seen an explosive first round out from CNET. Foolish. CNET Not able to connect that initial shot. Now they'll definitely know. I don't know where Shin has just died from. A straight up wallbang from Mr. Fallen, and they are now falling like flies. Every single member of KC, an attempted fight back. And Martin, he was meant to be the last man on the block. The rest of his utility, the flash, will help him out a little bit. And a captain definitely under pressure, but CNED is just watching from behind. They're finally going to get towards him, finally going to clear him out. But there's so many more players here that they have to deal with. 20 seconds left. Shin will put another on the death toll, but Mr. Fallen was just hiding at the back of the site. He was waiting for his moment. They are going to be able to take the util off this time. CNED hasn't been needing to use much of it. And the Hunter's Fury definitely helping out, giving Yedajay the extra space to just dominate again and again. He just takes over these rounds. The individuals on FUT are